another episode of the Weed and Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Lash, along with my co host, Lanaya.
The Pod Goddess.
And we are jamming through here to Monday Night Raw, June the 9th. This is the Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. If you saw our previous episodes, you should know we are not covering Money in the Bank because we thought it sucked. And that, and it's just too much. So, speaking of sucking and too much, well, this Monday Night Raw takes place in Phoenix, Arizona, and we open up with a John Cena and CM Punk promo. Yep. And all I noted is I couldn't care less about these two, and that Seth Rollins coming out to show off his Money in the Bank was pointless.
I like the "We Want Truth" chants during this whole little whatever it was. Those were pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That's
about it. Yes.
Pointless.
Yep. And CM Punk and Cena and Rollins and...
For those of you not wanting to take the nostalgia trip, sorry. We're going to have CM Punk and John Cena after 14 years and their prime go at it again.
And again. And again.
And again. And again.
I mean, so, yep, that was just back and forth between them. And then Sami Zayn came out at one point, they Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio for no reason. It was just a clusterfuck. And, yeah.
Yep.
A lot of things going on. I don't even... It's not really hectic.
Well, the first match of the night is Chad Gable versus AJ Styles. And great move start from them. That German suplex toss that he did looked like it really hurt.
It looked like it actually hurt. My body was like, ooh.
Yeah. You get some minor interference and then a Styles clash for the finish. I gave it a 5.5.
I gave it 6.5. They're all very athletic. I love to see Julius at any time doing anything. So.
Right on. Next, we get a four-way match. Okay, so this is So, here's the thing. Old Uncle Lash has to light a cigarette for this one. This is a King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring qualifying match. This is a Queen of the Ring qualifying match.
Yes, it came out of nowhere. Nobody was ready for it, and no, we didn't need it.
Here's the biggest thing. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring was always cool because it was a tournament. It was a legitimate tournament to where you got to see a lot of different people do really great short one-on-one matches. So that way, when it actually comes to the night of, if you want to win, you got to wrestle 3 matches.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way King of the Ring was done. That's the way all of the great winners of King of the Ring won it.
Or
you don't get Stone Cold Steve Austin not wrestling 3 matches. You don't get him all pissed off and coming off the cuff without having a proper King of the Ring set up. That's the point. The point of King of the Ring is to launch whoever is on the come up. Reason why Badass Billy Gunn, 1999, should have been his year. He was King of the Ring. And then he got put down. Man, probably most King of the Ring winners, most of them go on to be world champions.
they should go on because improving themselves, you know.
Yep. But now instead, what they're doing is that they're going to have a 4-way qualifying match. And then whoever wins that has to go on to one other match. And whoever wins that has to do one other match on the night of.
It's so ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make sense. It makes it not enjoyable for the viewer. It's just a whole bunch of extra stuff that's not necessary. But here we are.
Yeah. Instead of having 2 8 to 10 minute matches, that could fill out the time and could actually show off the individuals, we're getting these exhibitions. That's what it is. These multi-man matches constantly being in, it's an exhibition of just futility, of just not being able to, like, okay, let's everybody hit our high spots. We got 4 people in here. We got 10 minutes to do this. Everybody's got to hit a high spot, and then you got to chill out down by the side of the ring so that some one-on-one time can get on. But that one-on-one time is going to be for about a minute between 2 people before you're outside of the ring again, and then we have more one-on-one stuff.
It's just tiring, and it's, it used to like actually be fun and engaging, but they're losing that aspect with all of these ridiculous changes, and it's just ongoing, never ending.
Yeah, and at first they weren't going to have it. Like, that's the thing. It's when I didn't really state in the last episode when Nick Aldis had and them had announced that they would be bringing King and Queen of the Ring back. That's because just a month before then, Triple H said that he didn't want to have it.
I didn't hear him say he didn't want to have it. So when they said they're coming back, I was like, where'd he go?
Yeah, and I was excited because honestly, that tournament next to Royal Rumble, and Royal Rumble's my favorite contest in all of wrestling, but King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournament, that was like my favorite because then you got to see everybody shine.
Yeah.
And put on really good matches. But now they're just taking it away from it. And they're making it a big drama club thing. And we'll get into that more as it goes on. But this is a Queen of the Ring qualifying match with Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, and Kairi Sane. And some notable spots from it. Got a Code Breaker Russian leg sweep combo. Springboard Code Breaker. That was nice. Sloppy double powerbomb flying forearm kind of deal that they did there. Riptide pin broken up by Raquel. Then a huge sit-out dive from Kairi Sane. And then the insane elbow roll-up pin from Roxanne Perez for the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same women do the same thing over and over and over. There's not too much you can say about the same match being, week after week. And, I don't know. Well, I don't know what to say. They're all talented women. They're all high flyers. Rhea Ripley's boss as fuck. I don't know what to say because it's the same thing over and over. It's not exciting to me anymore. I don't even know how to commentate on that. What's my commentary? I've seen this shit before. Like, that's really all I have to say. So I'm done with it. 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 I'm done with it.
Done with it. I gave it a 4.
I gave it 3. And mostly because I'm sick of seeing the same thing. That's not even on them. It's on creative or lack of creativity, whatever the fuck we call that now. But it's become way too much for me.
That's the thing. It's become apparent at this point. Somebody in creative has a big thing for multi-man matches.
Or everybody, because it has to go through more than one person. Like,
yeah, and that they're just on this rung of just multi-man matches. It reminds me of AEW over a year ago.
Around when I stopped watching that, because I was like, this makes no sense. It's boring.
Yeah. And the thing is that AEW, to a degree, has stopped a lot of that. They have a lot more one-on-one matches now.
It does.
Doesn't make the matches all that better.
It doesn't.
But at least they knew something wasn't working, and they started to get away from it. Whereas they are doubling down constantly
and tripling down. They might have a 4-way that goes into a 4-way that leads into an 8-way. Like, it's really getting ridiculous. I think it's been months that we've been complaining about this. I'm literally going to go back and look at the footage, but they've just been getting worse and worse, like worse and worse with the, multi-man matches. It's just a lazy way of getting things done, in my opinion. And it lacks, the creativity to hold the storyline significantly and a whole bunch of stuff,
Yep. Speaking of creativity stifling, next up is Becky Lynch promo.
I just put Becky. I didn't write anything about it. And the next one I just put Jey Uso. So
my notes, I should have spent the weekend celebrating with my hot husband and beautiful child. And that she dislocated her shoulder, and that Lyra tried to kill her. That Bailey attacks her.
I just wrote Becky. I don't care for any of that whole thing that's going on whatsoever. Yeah. I don't know. It's boring to me. She's like, she needs more edge or something. There's just something about her that's like fell off for me that I can't like connect with anymore.
For whatever reason, just it's the writing and the creativity. They've turned like just about everybody into heels, but then they've also turned them into crybaby heels. They're all whiners.
They're the worst. They're just the worst. It's not fun. They're not funny. It's just like, can you please shut up and pass the mic? And like she's always whining and bitching about something. I really feel like in my memory there's a point where she was like significantly tough, but that's gone now.
Yeah.
And I don't like it, but fucking she still get paid. I'm still broke, so hey, I'm not gonna judge.
Ain't that the truth? Speaking of truth, get R-Truth promo.
Yeah, we do. He came back.
And the reintroduction of R-Truth and Ron Killings. And I got some lines that I really love from it. Don't let nobody tell you that you don't matter. And I'm back because of y'all. And then we love R-Truth chants were going on. And then he talks about people, messing around with him that he wish you would. And that he's not some sideshow act, a gimmick. And then R-Truth cuts his braids. He says, the truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings. Put some respect on my name.
Well, he said, I am truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name. And now he said it hardcore. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the whole attitude. He came back with I'm from the Wish Nigga Woods. It was great. It's what his character needed. And I don't care. People are like, I don't care if it was all a work. I'm going to say, to make myself happy, it was not a work. And we actually brought him back like we bullied the studios into making Sonic beautiful. That's all I'm done with.
It wasn't a work.
I don't think it was. But then you have all these people from TKO and Triple H, like, it was a work. Shut up.
Yeah. You enjoy the story? You like how that went? Bullshit. You're bullshitting. You're lying. You are fucking lying.
And
All
you're
right?
turning back.
Not for the internet crowd that you so predominantly try to say that you ignore. If not for them, we would not have our truth back. If not for us. If not for those people that made sure to chant him out all those nights. We brought him back, not them. We brought him back.
He's a
He's a
great
product
wrestler.
of the WWE universe.
He's
Not
no
of
Carlito. He's no Carlito. He's a great guy. They just need to give him the spirit of a chance. And the fact that fans have been saying it for years, other wrestlers have been saying it for years, there's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm glad he's back. I hope they do the best with him. That's all we can hope for,
Yep. I just really hope for the best out of this. And then we get Judgment Day promo, and they talk about represent the Judgment Day and the King of the Ring. And Liv bitches about getting her pin stopped by Roxanne. And it's Judgment Day. Mr. Iguana vignette. That was pretty cool.
I loved it. He's adorable. Yep. I love it.
Ready to see him come in and just do his thing, man. And the biggest thing that we could say, we might not have been fans of Money in the Bank, but AAA and what they did on Saturday was just so great, and it brought a lot of eyes to a lot of great talent.
Mm-hmm.
And if WWE wants to infuse and inject a whole bunch of them in, I'm all for it.
Worlds Collide was amazing.
All these Spanish matches are so good.
Worlds Collide was the best show I've seen in quite some time, and we've literally been live streaming and reviewing shows. We didn't do that one. I don't know why. Sometimes, whatever. But I think that it was great that it existed. I'm happy. I hope that they get a lot more fresh talent, and they get talent that can work with talent the seasoned talent that they already have to bring out the best product for the company, because I think that's a lot of what there's missing. There's a lot of holes in that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Synergy. The world needs more synergy.
Yep. 100% agree. Get some quick, useless, Dangerous Alliance promo. I just marked it as 0 and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care.
Yeah. Then we get Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for a qualifier match. As opposed to the match, the women's match earlier, I think you got 4 guys right here that you can't really hold them back, because they put out a pretty good match for all considering.
Yeah, I actually like this match, even though it's another fatal 4-way. Christ, you can't even find a different name for it, but it was a really good match. All strong contenders, and they all really wanted the prize. You could tell by how much they put into everything they do all the time. So it was good.
Yeah.
You can watch it. I love Braun Breaker. I love him. I don't like the fact that he's on Seth Rollins' side, blah blah blah, but I love it.
Well, I don't like the fact that they're not giving him and Bronson Reed much mic time,
and that's why that's why I don't like it. It's like Seth Rollins is playing this overlord as opposed to saying something else.
Because back in the day with the Dangerous Alliance and stuff, especially when it was in its prime, Steve Austin, Larry Zbyszko, Arn Anderson, they were all talking before Paul would talk. It was formed around the idea that Paul Heyman has found all these really good individuals and wants to form a team around it. And that's what he's doing again. But it's just, it's not fully benefiting if you have segments, which we'll talk about, to where the only thing Braun Breaker is doing is barking like a dog.
And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's not early 2000s, late 90s. That type of stuff doesn't really grab people's attention anymore. It's just
No,
stupid.
no, and yeah, it's a problem. But this match isn't a problem. Penta starts out with an immediate senton, because God bless him. Braun then just dominates for like the first like 4 or 5 minutes of that match.
Yeah, he was throwing him around with those belly suplexes. Like he was
Yeah,
fucking for a little bit.
did a head toss to Dom, just grabbed him by the head and tossed him.
Yep.
And then they team up on Braun and then roll up by Dom. And then there's a tornado armbar DDT that was really good. And then Braun said, it's at least when he does speak, you guys actually like this bum?
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with it. I'm just like, I don't know who did this, but there's so many ways I could pull that through and actually have them look intimidating.
And then I said everyone needs to take punching classes from Braun, because all of his punches just look so good.
Very crisp, very clean. Yep.
And then we get a top rope moonsault, crossbody suicide dive, and then a clothesline over the table, all in like just split time. Get a beautiful Breakensteiner. This is awesome. This is awesome. Chance get going. Get a military press slam reversed into a DDT. Then a Blue Thunder Bomb struggle, where he like tries to get the Blue Thunder Bomb off a couple times. It was actually a really good spot.
Yeah, Mysterio blocked that amazingly.
Yeah. Then we get the sacrifice and the Penta driver, and that gets broken up by Dom. And then a Mexican destroyer, and then a weak breakup from Braun. Even Loins there doesn't think that he actually broke it up.
Yeah.
And then we get a spear from to LA Knight at spear, and then LA Knight comes in, lands a BFT. Then we get a Halua kick for the finish.
Yeah, I was not expecting LA Knight to show up, which was made me happy because he keeps getting screwed. So I was very happy to see him.
Yep, absolutely. I gave the match 7.5.
I gave it an 8. That's funny. I mean, they're really showing their stuff in that match, and there has been times when they didn't look like as polished or as together. So it was just glad to see them pull together. I'm sad it was a fatal 4-way, but it is what it is. You know.
Everybody shined in that match. Braun really shined in that match.
I mean, he's a great athlete. I think that for the beginning of when he got started, everyone's like, oh, Steiner. But you kind of have to detach from that a little bit because he definitely has his own stylistics, his own personality. Yeah. So we have to get used to Braun is Braun.
He sure does. Then we get AJ Styles interview. And talks about how he can't stop thinking about Chad. And how Paul threatened him. And then he brings up again, you disrespect me, you get punched in the mouth.
Again, he needs to start saying, thank you, Mike Tyson, or something. You didn't make up that line, and we all were still alive when it was made up. Please, put some respect on that man's name.
And then it kind of goes into like a New Day interview. And they're looking for number one contenders, and they're trying to elevate the titles. One thing I have to say is that there has to be different writing teams for the tag team divisions on Raw and SmackDown.
It definitely is. They're not the same at all. The energy is not the same. The focus is not the same.
Yeah, and the only time that the only time New Day comes out, outside of that three-way tag match that they had, um, they're only coming out to do commentary or to
Yep.
goof. Like they're actually going into their good heel roles, and especially as champions, they're doing a good job. And you
Totally
have
agree.
a good amount of different tag teams on there trying to vie for everything. So it's not this clusterfuck that's SmackDown. Um, is it
SmackDown is
terribly
fun, but
exciting? No,
no,
but it's not awful.
no, it's not at all. Meanwhile, on the other hand, SmackDown is god awful in like thousand
Yeah,
different ways.
yeah.
So
Um, but yeah, I gave both interviews a 6.
that's about right. I didn't really excuse me. I didn't really number them. I don't know why, but
It's cool.
6 is about right.
Yep. And then we get an Asuka vignette. Yay, she's coming back.
Hooray! I
Um,
mean, I think it works well with the division where it is right now for women. She definitely
I love Asuka.
yeah, she's the upper that they need. To hit that next
Yeah.
level, go that next rung.
She's one of those wrestlers that put her in the ring with a paper bag. She's gonna put on a great match.
Yes, it's going to be pay-per-view quality no matter who she's with. That's what I'm saying. She elevates everything she does. So it's great to have her right now to really see what woman is going to fall apart or rise, in my opinion.
Then we get a Nikki Bella kind of Liv Morgan promo. Where Nikki comes out and sings praises of everybody but Liv. And Liv comes out and says, "I'm the most talented woman in the division." And Liv would have beaten Nikki, and she's jealous. And and then Nikki comes back with, "I'm trying to figure out who Dom belongs to, you or Roxanne."
Yeah, that was cute. Just twist that knife a little bit. I mean, it's stupid. The whole storyline is stupid. But if it breaks apart Judgment Day, so be it. But I don't think it will. I think they're just torturing us because they know we hate Judgment Day at this point.
Well, given the fact that we're now speaking in time of Liv's out injured now.
Oh yeah.
I think what they were trying to do is that they were trying to have a storyline unto her own that's separated from Judgment Day.
Well, she's definitely gonna have one now.
Yeah, she's gonna have to have one by now, and obviously it's gonna be Roxanne when she comes back. So she'll probably come back as a babyface too, which I'll take Liv any which way. She's great as either role.
Yeah, she really plays it well. So,
and I thought that she really talked her game in this promo too. Like, I don't necessarily care for the fact that it's Nikki Bella.
Yeah, she's.
But it's still what she was saying in the promo. All true, true.
Yep.
And she said it well. So I gave the promo an 8.
I gave it an 8 also.
And then next up for the main event, even though I'm sure Gus and Willie probably won't watch this because I know how much they hated this match, but I loved it.
It was a good match.
Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title.
I mean, Gunther, whether I like the way it ended or not, it was a great match. So
Gunther is 51. It was 51-4. Now he's going to be 52-4. Just that record is just so awesome.
It is.
And match starts out with "You tapped out" chants, and Jay starts out hard with some sleepers, and then once Gunther gets him in the ribs a couple times there, he just gets his big shit-eating grin on his face and just starts to kick the shit out of his gut and then rips off his shirt and his bandages. It's so awesome.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
and then he does like an intentionally weak German suplex, and then does a good release German suplex. like,
yeah, he
well,
just toying with him. It was obvious the outcome from the start. He was just toying with him. You could tell. So,
it's so good. um,
I mean, as
and
long as Jey Uso gets to come back, I'm fine with it. If he doesn't, fuck this match. That's how I feel at this point.
fair enough. Uh, we actually got a running ass attack that from Gunther that misses, and then we get a spear from Uso and a splash, and then a kick out, and then he gets power bomb in, and then a kick out. Then Gunther actually lays in a spear, and then for a period there they go sleeper for sleeper, and then finally the sleeper finish. I will say that it was a weak sell on Jay's part on that last little bit of it, but whatever.
He looked tired. Like he looked like he was like really like
Yeah,
exhausted.
he was probably genuinely tired and just like, let me fucking get this over with.
Yeah, like
but yeah, then you get Gunther as world heavyweight champion again. He's the only two-time holder of this iteration of the world heavyweight title.
woohoo for him. I mean,
yeah. Gonna be good for when he has to face Goldberg. We'll get to that when that comes up.
I cannot stand Goldberg. Yeah.
Otherwise, I loved this match. I gave it an 8.5.
I gave it a 7. It wasn't a bad match. It just, again, it's the same things over and over and over again. And I don't like
the thing I loved is it played right into my wheelhouse of just making it methodical, making it so psychological, like of just abusing Jey Uso in it, and I love that shit.
I don't like that. I like Jey Uso. I'd rather be the other way around, but Jey Uso come back. Well, whatever.
Well, I want to say no. I want to see Jay make a comeback and get the title again for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's gonna happen. That's what they've been doing, but
for sure, that's what I want to happen. But if this is also, you need a match like this to make that happen.
Very true. Very, very, very true.
And this was the perfect match for that. I can sing Gunther's praises all day.
I know you can.
I love him. But otherwise, that does wrap up this episode of Monday Night Raw here June 9th in Phoenix, Arizona. Guys, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Our channel does a couple clicks for you, means a lot to us. So and also on Tuesdays and Thursdays we have our live streams. This Tuesday we have Machoverse coming on to talk about Macho Man Randy Savage with us, and then on Thursday we've got Lanaya leading the discussion on Sting. So
if this Tuesday is the 24th and 26th, Jessica, you don't know when people are actually watching this.
Yeah. So
hopefully watch it. It's going to be awesome, amazing. And if you're watching this after those dates, go back and watch them. They're going to be awesome and amazing. You're going to love them.
Woo! Well, otherwise, that wraps up this episode. Take care, folks. Stay safe.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.